Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
What could be so important? It's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process. It's just unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. You don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
What's up, good people? What's happening? What's happening? Alright, so we just got here. It looks like all hell broke loose. It's more a little like the sunken place. Everything like upside down. But let's run around and see what's going on. We gotta talk to people. Dropping like flies. Oh Lord. Like you're hurting right now.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zugals have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve
yes,
this?
Miss Face.
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Alright, this one.
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration, to avoid all this chaos.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry. That probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.
Let's hope so. Because at this point right now... 55. God dang, why y'all so expensive? I'm about to put some stuff on. Appreciate you, bro. I've been kind of playing around with it as of late. Each time I find a new aisle, they give me a...
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
They give me a new little outfit. Oh no. You trying to give him the jump? Nah, little man ain't finna do that. He like, nah, bro. You gotta come get me. Just walk to the edge, bro. Just walk to the edge. You'll be alright. That baby finna jump that high. My baby would. See you matching a couple. Bro, you know what? I ain't even think about that. They do kind of match a little bit. I wasn't even trying to, honestly. It's kind of flowed.
Your lordship. Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Oh, most definitely. Dead eyes.
Yeah.
Floating around.
What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time.
Looks like people here in Lenegis are extremely suspicious. Can't jump. Nope, okay. Moving along. Oh, even the Zoogles turned against you. Oh, this is gonna get spicy.
Is everything okay?
Her eyes are purple.
You look a little lost.
I like it.
Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Yes, dude.
Lord Dohalim
We need all of these ways.
But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course.
Spill beans.
Please forgive me.
Spill it.
There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent. Which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth. That Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Uh-oh.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah.
Very much so.
That one guy even said his Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at, Dohalim?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign, though it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Danon. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made Sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that two sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros.
Yeah, what happened to it?
Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered, until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off limits to everyone but the
now.
Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start.
To infinity and beyond.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it.
Interesting. Alright. Sorry, y'all.
I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
Some story heavy. I like to
And
know what's
yet,
going on.
weirdly,
Makes me
none
like
of
the
them
game,
seem
man.
to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Danon city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
That would be smart. God dang it, another one? Jesus.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
It's called
I
lineage,
do.
bro.
It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Missy.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
Really? No, they ain't got no goddamn sense. Nobody if you saw it. Oh, another cutscene.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, they're sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now. Balsif, Cannabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the Lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Alright, y'all gotta bear with me. We gotta do a little bit of talking here, so let's see what's really going on. Who follows who and why, even though the city is in freaking ruins. Yeah, they're very scared, just like the Danans. Sorry, baby, I'm seeing that thing late. Erosly? Teddigless? They got some names, bro. You probably know as better as no boss, so.
Yes! Yes!
Okay, so he's loyal to his supporters.
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
Interesting.
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
Oh. They can at least fix their faces when somebody's doing that. Oh, there you go. It likes a smile. These glasses.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the line.
Yeah, I was trying to decide which ones I wanted to put on. Because it was between these, those. We ain't gonna get that silly with them. But I had a few ideas. I might end up going to the black ones though. These frames, but these kind of fit though. Nah, I'm gonna leave it like that. For some reason they fit.
Hands were down, so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
I shall refrain from commenting. You found out it's not to your liking, Mr. Doverly. Alright, let's see what this person got to say. I think this was gonna be Volron.
What?
Bacchus. Oh, Annabelle. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. We may have killed your sons. Just saying. Just maybe. Especially if they were knights.
Ganabelt was so horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of them.
It seems like Annabelle also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
Come on now. It don't work like that, bruh. It does not work like that. Any more pieces of candy? That's just true. Alright, let's get to it. Just run down the mysterious hallway.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed. The effects of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Sheep meat. Alright. Let's run over here. Oh. I use healing arts as well.
Pardon me.
Okay, I got you. I don't know. I'll make you there. Yes, please. Oh, so she was out here smacking people for a long time. Okay. Also removed. What do you mean by removed? Don't like that word. Removed doesn't make him stand down, or removed doesn't remove him from life. There's a difference. Probably not too happy, be gonna lie.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest.
I guarantee you, he came in that motherfucker
here not
cussing
only
today.
shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Indeed, because she cost us all kind of hell.
Ridiculous.
Tell Miss Lorna. Oh, we'll do. She downstairs right now. As soon as she get up here, I will. Oh, Volra.
Okay.
Or do we get here to this myself? You and this hoochie hatchet, bro. This is true water lord. Oh wow, he enslaves Renans too? Yeah, boy, y'all at home with the family just loved it. Just for a little while. And just until I have to go to work later. So
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know
I'll be
much
able to
about
enjoy my
Volron
people for a
either.
little bit longer.
I remember being quite
What's going on?
surprised
What's
when the
going on?
Lord of
What-
Ganeth Harrows changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
Ooh, y'all don't question nothing? Nothing?
When you think about
I
it,
don't.
the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive.
They jumped up?
But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside
That's what I'm talking
forces.
about.
And nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Renan,
That's
so to
what
speak.
I'm talking
Right.
about. Go take
It's
a look,
the
see
same
him.
reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
Oh yeah, man. I just moved
Alpha,
up to.
Have you gained anything from all
I'm
of this?
holding.
Yeah.
I'm holding $1 million now.
I think it's made me realize
I ain't
that
got
the
up to
rulers
your
were all
status
people,
yet, but
too.
I made it to $1 million.
Also
I have to
for
go
the
ahead and
others,
get up in there.
They all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
Ooh,
I know.
it hit
They did
300
was horrible.
and kept
I'm not
going.
trying to dispute that.
Bruh, every time I get on
But
here,
at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible
that's
monsters
beautiful.
either.
She
They were
was getting it.
individuals, just like the rest of
Look
us.
at God.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is,
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Mm-hmm.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
not at all.
Being a Danon doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Shion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
They gonna make me cry. Give me my money. Alright, let's roll. Let's see what's on the map. 1-6. Let's go this way. See if we can find any candy. Oh, so we can't go this way, can we? That is range to superior. Have to go around. Okay. Let's head the other way then. Looks like we need to go here. Alright. Y'all gotta forgive me. I do a little roaming so I can see if I can find some pieces of. Oh, wait a minute.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfricht Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfricht whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegis?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegis from the motherland, sovereign or
There's a
otherwise.
lot of strange activity
And that
going on.
never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
Sorry, the story was
A
getting
new
good.
Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide
Story
with
was
every
getting real
crown
good.
contest.
Thank you, my lady.
Meaning each
Everybody
victor
say
is
good morning as
awarded
well.
their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in
some
Pelagian, it didn't look
Yes,
like
I
the sort of
do.
thing that could be made to order.
got some
But
food.
if even the
How
victor's
about you?
speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renan by blood,
We'll
neither
say
of
it's a
us
party
even
now.
knew that such a thing as a dark
Nah,
master
she's still
core
downstairs.
existed, remember?
Her
With
little
any
man
luck,
still down there eating. if I'm
Forbidden
not
Zone
mistaken.
might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. They be giving you all kind of information in this one. Hey, there she go. There go my baby. But they be giving all kind of info in this bad boy. I gotta get tell that God dang it, another one. I just want to run around.
Doe?
Wait a minute.
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that
Shut
Avakir
up,
guy
Sloth.
was?
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already.
Uh-oh.
Nothing to say?
Things about to get a little
Even though
spicy,
you were
y'all.
willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out.
Ooh.
Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit.
Ooh.
But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
Oh boy, she's spicy, spicy.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to
My boy
do.
said my sins
Then you
are
have my word.
legion.
I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
That's a bar.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else.
Ooh.
You're just a coward!
So, back filler. There she goes. I knew she was watching this. Oh, she's taking mushrooms. Let's see if he tell y'all what's going on, because I kind of know a little bit.
Dohalim. I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Mm-hmm.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Oh, that miasma is thick in that one. The miasma is thick in that one. Ooh, what's this one? Alright, let's go see what's going on. Got stuff hiding in all kind of nooks and crannies. This place is interesting. Like, there's hardly like no space in between these buildings. And how deep does this motherfucker go? Is that trash? Into that street.
As I recall, there's a recipe we've yet to try.
Yeah, this is the last ingredient we need.
Yeah, we do.
Then let's go ahead and prepare it.
Not right now. We will feed the fat ones later. Hold on, damn top ass up. Uh-oh. Hold up, wait a minute, there, put some talking in it. Hold up, wait a minute, there, put some
Wow,
talking in
this
it.
place is beautiful.
Yeah. It must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagan.
So we seen
That was a
Avakir, we seen
lifetime ago
Faria,
now.
so it must have been Tarnagan who's
Tarnagan.
no longer with us.
He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
Yes.
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed.
Oh no, not the husband. Ooh shit. Wait a minute.
Despite Faria's
Ooh,
lower class upbringing,
wait a minute.
she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
Nah, bruh. People
I
who
would
love
have
music understand.
once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing.
Okay, Tails, let me find out.
Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise
Unbeknownst
does
to
me
you.
too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart.
We all do.
And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Please.
Tarnagan was no
Indulge
match for me
us.
in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think...
Of course she doesn't
Wait.
know.
Don't tell me she doesn't know.
Why would I tell her? Well, Dohalim.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
Indeed.
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've
Take your
saved so
roses
many
and run,
people,
that
Dohalim.
Pippin.
You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
It's gonna take some time, Pippin, but you're gonna be good out here. Onward. Boy, Kisara in that walk, sweet Jesus. Whoever
think you'll be
coded her,
alright?
I commend you.
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right.
Folks gonna put you in your feelings over here. Uh-oh. Somebody else is watching.
Alfred.
All eyes on me.
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
Mm-hmm. It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
That's what I'm talking about. Look at her growing up right in front of my eyes. Man, this is like a Dragon Ball Z fighting zone. If y'all ever play a booty car, bruh, a lot of good moments. Alright, hold on. Let me change my person. There we go.
I see.
Okay, so we gotta end over here. So I'm guessing they're gonna force me to go take a nap.
Be a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Oh, really now? What kind of goods do you have? First, let me... Oh, I ain't got nothing I can sell. We'll leave that be. No weapons. Okay, a decent bit of armor. She gets that, you get that. Darlene gets that. Let's go ahead and put yours on. Gotta keep make sure my mage and my marksman is looking good. Everybody else is cool. Well, come on, Darlene. I gotta get you out too. Without you, we wouldn't be able to walk freely around here. Alright, let's roll.
Did we really just spend that much money?
Yes, we spent that much money. Let's go. She don't like spending money. She like me in real life. She ain't doing it. Uh-oh. Let's get ready to rumble. Ooh, gold armor. Those capes.
Lenegis soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Alright.
Well, so much for them.
I need to give you a chance to avoid them. Okay.
I am Lord Dohalim of Elden Menhacia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No.
Rest of the city.
Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed enough. If they want to fight, they got one.
Goddamn right. Oh, knock them down. Let's go. Oh, this shield can do it.
We'll soon see about that.
Shoot me, shit. Almost tried to hit me in the eye. I ain't gonna lie. They, that HP is nasty. Very true. Go ahead and put that shield in your life.
Flare the Molotov!
Oh, got him. Good game, real. Nope. 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 Get up off me. Come on, put it on the lock. Pop. Oh, you got hit by us. I told you, bro, that disrespectful on you guys. You be out here thinking you're doing work and they be like, cutie guys. Where you go? I'm going so high I can even see everything.
Blow them away!
Beautiful.
It's time to finish this!
Uh-oh. Working out there, dude.
Consuming wildfire!
Come closer.
Where are you going? Do it! It's over! Astral energy! Full throttle! Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Very much so.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red One, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries.
Of course.
At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Classic good versus evil. Come on now. Ooh, dog tag, grape jail. Ooh, what is this grape jail you speak of? Whoa. Okay, like we got a little running around to do before we go to that stall over there. Let's go be nosy for a hot minute.
That enemy looks strong. I bet it'll be worth our while to fight it.
I'm scared. But I ain't know me.
We're in for a long
Now, what would y'all happen to be weak to? Is the question. Oh, you gonna be dancing, bombing, and weaving almost. Okay, they're weak to. What's that?
Do it! Get toasty! Burn right! Too slow!
What are you weak to?
You should have messed with me!
Wind or light? Ooh, that hurt.
I'm on Guardian Fire! I'm ready to march! Armor won't save you!
Frozen?
Hammer! Too slow! Going in!
Come on, how many times I do that? Still don't get old.
Sadistic
Sit your right there, boy. Go ahead, sit down there.
Get toasty! Burn strike!
A whirling treble.
Plenty left!
Do it! Neon! Astral energy! Full throttle!
Alright.
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Dark Main. Whoa, wait a minute. Nope. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Alright, here we go.
I'll do my best.
Sorry, y'all. I got a bad history with Mantis. We don't get along well.
Going in.
Now or never.
This one's mine. The normal creature.
We'll see why in a minute. If he ever does it.
I'll smash you!
Is it weak to lightning? It's gotta be lightning.
I'll take you all on.
He gonna eat it, but it still does damage.
Flare Demolisher.
Use that 6,000 anytime.
Going.
One's mine! Here we go in a bind!
Going in!
Go ahead, get some help real quick.
I'll crush you!
Okay, man.
Lightning reflexes! 10 of
Oh yeah, he's my hardest hitter. 19,000, let's go. Alright, he still got booty hell. Yeah, he's up to win.
Charge like that.
Oh.
I'm here to stop.
Save you!
This one's mine.
You about to run us over, y'all?
Look sharp.
No, you don't use it. Use it, bro.
Prepare to be idiot!
Don't run me over like that, bro. How we get down? How you supposed to look at me? At me.
Now you see what I can do!
Freeze Lancer!
I'm on a roll now! Now I'm real mad!
Here, let me help.
Ooh, got us good on that one. Y'all not supposed to be right behind me. Y'all know that, right?
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes!
Y'all gotta move around because y'all get hit when I do. Let me drag him over here. Ooh, thank you, baby. I can take that, y'all can't.
Not today!
Sit your ass down. Not my people look like this.
Eat this!
Where are you going?
Okay, I need you to heal, girl. Why are you tripping?
All good things come to an end. It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Here's a healing arc! Armor won't save you! Going in!
I did that first aid gear, but I ain't getting none of it. Ooh! I'm going that night.
One more! Glacial! I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolition! Will this help?
I don't know. Do it. Do the same.
You picked the wrong fight.
Law! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Does anyone else think this may be just a bit too tough for us?
See why I don't like fighting that mother? Boy, nasty. Ooh, hello. Alright, range person gotta die first, and then we work our way around from there.
I see one, eh?
Look sharp! I can read your moves like a book.
Are you running from the death? Not over here, take your hands. Please? Nope. Move off from there.
I'll heal you all. Glacial.
I'll go for a trip.
Flare Demolition. Here's a healing arc.
All good things come from Astro.
That's my key.
No, we're not doing that today. We need to put that out. Maybe on the way to use stuff around here. These parts.
Do it. Illuminate the frozen.
Hammer. You're on it.
Damn it! You back!
He's still.
I'll trip it up. Now or never.
Glacial Fire. First strike.
Glacial Spear.
Here's the evil shot.
In here.
Look me.
Deny.
I seen you coming.
Look sharp.
I can carve through one!
Sit your ass down.
This one's mine. Hurricane strike. Lightning strike. Glacial spear. Here's the hurricane strike.
Blow them away!
Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. I barely worked up a sweat.
Like we're gonna be in here scrapping for a good minute. Is that a ranged character on that? No, everybody was pretty much close.
Out of my way!
You got fury!
I'm gone!
Dance in the wind! By the power of water! How long are we gonna keep this up for each other?
Now you learn!
Ooh. Oh, I called them hands. Y'all see that 4-piece? Fuck it, bro.
Here's a healing shot! Now you've gone and ticked me off!
Say it again, girl.
Easy challenge for me. Yeah!
You gotta go. You doing too much damage to my life.
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolition! Look sharp!
You ate most of the side, though.
Lightning strike! Maximum burn!
It was
Now! By the
all yours, Kisara.
Now! Going
I think it's you now. I was just on these two to keep it pushing.
That's it!
You don't look over here. You are moving that toddler too much for my life. Be still.
Can't get out of
Oh,
this.
yeah, stop right there.
Do it!
All finished. Demon's Descent! Flashing bang!
Ain't 21. Beautiful.
Don't get complacent.
Never. Shortcake recipe. Let's see, that's gonna be good. That shortcake sound amazing.
Those
That'd be magically delicious. Wait,
soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
how do I get over there? Gotta go the other way. Right around. Okay.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden Zone?
Of course. Oh, God. Got another one of those. Okay. We're going to change people this time. We're going to use rim oil. And by using rim oil, maybe I can figure out what his weakness is and use more of that to make this fight go a lot faster. Oop, oh, but wait. So if I change her to the other leader, why does it not change over here? Lightning?
I think I'll pass up ahead.
See what happened there as you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, it's lightning. Oh yeah. You put it to business here. You put it to business, Mr. Mantis. I can do lightning all day.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Hit him with that 20 G's. Let's go.
A whirling struggle.
Oh no, this is whirlwind. I need lightning. So let's go in and change my art. Thunderblade is gonna be nice. Holy Advance is gonna be nice. I know I got another lightning one. Where you at? Thunder Field. And now do I have any other aerial attacks that's lightning? Besides Celestial Hammer and Celestial Discharge. So let's see what this one does. Stop looking for a second. Just here for a second. Get hit by long for that second. Oh yeah.
I'll take you all on.
Get him, girl.
Flare the Malika!
Electric shock! Hurricane
Ooh, he hit me up there. Good move. But she's so high I can't even see her no more.
This one's all mine. Not today.
In a vine? Eat that! Now you see what I can do! Far enough!
Going in to pull myself together.
I'll take you all on!
Well, she got her stuff again.
Flare the Malika!
Get it, get it, get it.
Illuminate the sign! Come forth! Holy fire! Holy land!
Got him. Ooh, yeah, that one hurt.
That's what my shield's for. Get behind you!
Good. I'll leave it to you.
Super here! Celestial laser!
Wrong way, girl.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Eat this!
Hold on, little bit. Okay, you got a shield. Go ahead.
Appreciate the help!
Illuminate the sun! Holy land! Illuminate the dark!
We don't like it. We don't like it.
Come forth! Holy glimmer! Holy land! Here's a healing arm!
Now you see what I can do!
First aid!
Take this!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth! Holy glimmer! Holy land! Illuminate the dark! Kisara! Frozen!
Oh yeah, that was a lot faster than using her. There it is, figured it out.
I've been doing really great lately.
Put these hands on you. Well, in this case, put this book on you. How about that? Wait. Did I go over there to grab that chest? I think I did. Yeah. I got the chest. Alright, people. Let's see what y'all got. What do you need to? Oh, they got you back on her. Okay, I'll take that. Alright, hold on. We gotta get rid of this ranged character first. No, he's not ranged. Big mobile. We need him, man. Doing too much damage for my life and breath. Oh, I'm trying to jump on me.
This has got your name on him!
Oh, the shield trick. Oh, he's weak to that too.
Get toasty!
So everybody seems to be weak to light here. Create a whole bunch of things with nothing but light damage. Calm down right now. Leave it alone with that damn person.
This one's all mine! Locked and loaded! Smashed to pieces!
We handle energy! Lunar corruption!
I tell you, you can jump around like that. Now, book.
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble! Got you! I'm gone!
In a bind!
Boy, she knocked his ass all the way over here. Ooh, see there. See there. Are you gonna stop me while I'm healing? Disrespect.
This one's mine! Where are you going?
Mother law.
I feel sprightlier than before.
Beautiful. 45, let's go. Ooh, okay, we gotta pop a potion real quick. First, let's heal everybody. Now, let's get some more CP. One should be all we need. These guys don't look that hard. Wait, we got 2 of those? Yeah, let's go.
Out of our way!
Got him. All of them. Call them slipping.
I'll take you all on!
They got too much HP. Crazy. You start here for 10 G's and they still don't die.
No further!
Ooh. See? They want me sleep. Into the thick of it. Everybody gonna get hit.
In an instant!
In the shit. We are the XP.
I'll take you all on!
You got too much life, big fella. You got entirely too much life. Again? Don't mind if I do.
Looks like we won.
D. Alright. The whole area has been ransacked. Let's put my girl back on. Actually, they fought a lot better when you were audit leader, so wait. Change leader to Renwell. But I still want to keep. Does that help? Yeah, we'll see. For some reason those seem to be different. I don't know why. Do not know why.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Bibbidi bobbidi boo. Well, sucky.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on now.
What?
What's up with the pixie dust? What's up with the pixie dust? Yay, my memories.
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Dahnan. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
It's not my
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other.
So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man, story's on point. Story is on point so far.
What the hell just happened?
That vision.
Some reviews cite the
Did
stories
everyone
all
else
over
see
the
it too?
place. I don't see it.
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
Wait, they can see it too?
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
Oh, shit, everybody was in there.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Dahnan astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegis. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
No.
Shion, you okay?
I beg to differ.
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all.
It seems like the
so
energy
that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
What it wants to manifest.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
Indeed.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too, if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect,
Oh boy, she's
they're
getting
all
deeper.
hardwired into you.
She's getting deeper.
Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp.
Keep that
After
to
that
myself.
last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
I'll keep that phrase to myself. You a lot of you heard it. I'm not my business though. Ooh. Press the button. Alright. Moving along. Boss fight?
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait a minute. There's gonna come through that portal.
Summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when...
We can talk later. Here it comes!
Exactly, we ain't got time for all this right now. Tormented, yeah.
What? I've never known Faria.
Oh, wait a minute. Wrong person. Ooh. I thought I was Kasara again. I was gonna get up.
Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handle the suit. Then we get some answers.
Oh wait, weak against light, of course. Okay. Ooh.
Hey, this one's mine!
Now you see what I can do!
Nothing wrong! Here I go! Here's another I like my guard down.
Oh, he just messed my girl up. Come on, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, girl. Ooh.
Now I'm real mad!
Right, let's just stop. It does. So we got used to that for life.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Ooh, I'm messing up, I'm messing up. I just thought about something. I haven't put everybody's boots back on. I was fighting a fire monster and I needed everything to be the weakness. I forgot to put everything back on. Let's see. She's good. He's good. He's good. He's good. Alright.
There's a healing illuminate the dark! Holy glimmer! Holy land! Crumble! Solid sword!
Yeah, he does not like that light. That light didn't work.
Come forth! Holy glimmer! Holy land! Illuminate the dark! Come forth! Holy glimmer!
I don't know how to go to Kisara and use the two things I know I can use. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, they're coming for me.
Holy land!
He's still here, bro.
Lightning orb! Blah blah blah! Holy land! Shining Infernova! Blah blah blah! Holy land will bring you down!
charge like that could easily be fatal. Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
You alright?
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Far enough! Let's put you out of your misery.
You get me, Jess. Holy Land! Blah, blah, blah.
She's giving me the good blah, blah, blah. Sorry, y'all, if I'm spamming it, but... Huh?
Illuminate the dark! Here's the evil! Holy Glimmer! Illuminate the dark! Come forth, Holy Glimmer! Illuminate the dark!
I don't know what's going on, but she only slipping on her healing, so let me... Do I have any more treats? Ooh, I do not. I need you to heal me.
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, Holy Glimmer! Holy Land!
Ooh, no.
Illuminate the dark!
Dang, and I just healed her too. Let you get back up there.
I can't lose!
You can maybe turn those daggone things back on. No, she's still kicking. I'm trying to figure out why she's not healing them though. Like right now, she's slipping. I'm about to go put her stuff back off because she was healing just fine at first. Why are you not healing? Alright. I don't know what's going on. She tripping. Let's go back. Yeah, I got everything on. It's in her set. Strategy. Peach gel. That's how we're gonna do this. We got grape gels now. No restrictions. I don't have to get to it. Because she on the slipping, so I have to pick up this. Oh, I'm sleeping.
Oh, you are gonna pay for that!
Nah, he teleported over to where I am. Oh, I gotta wait.
No more playing!
Alright, Shion. Since you don't seem to want to heal nobody right now.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
Go ahead and get real.
Resuscitation! I'll bring you back
Ooh.
from...
Woo! Jesus.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss! Resuscitation!
I can carve through one!
Will this help?
Still got some fight left in my
Can't get out of this!
healing circle!
Alright, yourself, woman.
Where are you going?
I'm dead. Ooh.
Will this help?
I would like to be Ringmail, but I want your boy to be great.
This one's all mine!
Resuscitation!
I'll bring you back from
Okay.
death.
Now or never! I can carve through one!
Glacial spear.
Oh no.
Glacial spear. Pierce evil. Freeze laser.
I call upon thee! Burning strike! Raging cascade! Resuscitation!
Denied.
Winds of heaven! Not done yet! Hurricane strike!
Will this help?
I'll be saving this one!
Focus your attack. This is one tough
in the
cookie.
sky, it's
Not
not.
much longer he isn't. Don't let up till it's all over.
Attack time! I'm just getting started!
Glacial spear.
It's on! Eat this!
Freeze laser. Glacial spear. Pierce evil.
Circle!
Winds of heaven! Gemini always!
Glacial spear. Pierce evil. Freeze laser. Glacial spear. Pierce evil.
No further!
Can't be happening.
That boy popped up on me. That boy popped up on me.
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolitor! Denied! Super Quality!
Alright, girl, I need you to get up. All rise.
Armor won't save you!
I'm only gonna cut.
Ooh, what the? They're going different ways.
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble! Now it's just her!
Faria! Can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning.
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Oh, his doofus works in his underwear.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You? Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already passed, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the opposite.
That baby should be writing some poetry or something.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion.
Huh?
Thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right? Let's move on.
Yeah, the Red Woman used her.
Do you think Faria was really being controlled by someone?
Indeed.
Certainly seemed that way. The question is, who? The Red Woman?
The same person who's behind all of this, I'll bet. Whoever that is.
Brainwashed or otherwise, the feelings of resentment she holds towards me are real.
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who means us harm.
There's no question. That attack was meant for us alone.
By someone capable of getting inside a person and manipulating them like a weapon. We need to find whoever it is, fast.
That's the red chick. It's the mysterious Red Woman. She has powers unbeknownst to us. We need to find out what these powers are and how they came to be. But let's dive deeper. Uh-oh.
What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
Ooh, story time.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
Like everything was on the brink of... Like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her. It reminds me of Shion's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dana.
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure.
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Well, this
Shion's
got
right.
deep.
All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of.
Yes, which is one of the reasons why she put the mask on you.
They may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
So, is the reason that...
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
So many theories.
Finally,
So
we begin
many
to understand
theories.
what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way.
I got a feeling how we're gonna get
That
rid of
vision
them.
we saw.
She ain't gonna like it.
It was as if it was meant specifically for us.
What do you make
All
of
right,
it?
bro, go ahead. Knock it out.
Do you still think the will of Dana might be involved somehow?
Maybe it's trying to tell us something. But what?
Well, it could be supernatural. You know, like seeing dead people, messages from beyond the grave, ghost type stuff.
That's your grand theory? That we're being haunted? Come on, Law.
Wait. He might be closer to the mark than you think. What if a person's thoughts and deeds were to somehow become indelibly etched into the ether of a place?
Exactly.
And what if those with a connection could then somehow pick up on them?
You think that's what it was? Some kind of message someone left here for us?
Indeed.
I am merely entertaining the possibility. Whether it was Dana's will, or somehow connected to the Sovereign and Maiden's powers, I do not know.
Okay, back up a sec. You're saying that if a place is full of enough astral energy, it can somehow show us events that happened centuries ago?
More to the point, how does that much astral energy gather in one place anyway? Seems unlikely it happened naturally.
Of course.
Whatever it was, it survived here intact for 300 years. Whoever left it for us, the strength of their intent is beyond doubt.
The strength of their intent.
That's something to hold on to. The strength of their intent. Hey, baby.
soon, we might very well learn the truth behind Shield's thorns, as well as my own past. I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens. I'm determined to save Shion and Dana. Nothing I learn can change that.
Well, things are about to get even heavier.
Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out. This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised at this point?
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. It might give us a new lead.
For the people of Lenegis, the Forbidden Zone is the stuff of dreams. Yet here I am, standing within its hallowed halls.
It's off limits even for lords, then? Talk about an exclusive club.
Being exclusive is one thing, but how many important facilities let in only the Sovereign? Doesn't that seem a little strange?
Strange doesn't cover it. If it was only one room, maybe. But a place on this scale? How do they keep it from falling into ruin? Whoever the Sovereign is, they can't manage the upkeep of this whole place themselves.
Did no one ever talk about it when you were growing up?
No, not that I can remember. Then again, Sovereigns and Forbidden Zones weren't exactly breakfast table conversations.
The Forbidden Zone is a hallowed place, at one with the Sovereign's authority, grounds of the one true ruler who presides over all Renans. That is what we believed this place to be. No, what we were made to believe it was. But now, it is finally time to discover this area's true purpose, and why it was kept hidden behind the scenes for so long. I think I can make this work.
Well, can you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records, by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. Let's see. A composite being capable of controlling Danan astral energy, so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure, taking the form of a Danan. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign?
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the Master Cores. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the Maiden and the Lords, too.
About the Lords? Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renan citizens. In other words, it may be that all Renans are unwittingly being made subject to some kind of grand scheme.
What about the Sovereign? Does it say anything else?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would require specialized... Wait.
What is it? Did you find something?
It's a list of names, with the title, Test Subjects, Sovereign. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait. I think I've found one that was successful. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
They re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Alphen.
It's fine, really. What about the others? Was I the only one?
Test subject number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Volron.
Volron? But that means...
He's only Sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Upon victory, the Sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new Sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. So we were told. But according to these records, there have only ever been 2 Sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown contest. It's all lies, including the part about the Sovereign residing in Rena. The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler. It must always have been devised for some other purpose.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the Sovereign, then who was it?
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already a Sovereign. Me. Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie. The same person I'm willing to bet is behind all this.
The Red Woman?
It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind behind this scheme. She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan homeworld.
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
What about the data records? Is there no other information that could help us?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their endgame is, unfortunately. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
I'll do that.
So this is where Alphen became the Sovereign, and Volron as well. The significance of this location would suggest...
Hey, it looks like the terminals in here turned on too.
We should look through them. They might contain valuable information.
Only 2 Sovereigns in over 300 years. So why has the experiment only succeeded twice in all this time? And if that's the case, why keep on doing it? Was there really no other way? Or could there be some other reason?
Dohalim.
Forgive me.
Alphen.
I'm fine. I'm just a little shaken, that's all. I knew what I was already, so it's not like it's a surprise or anything. But it's strange. I've got all this rage inside of me, but I don't even know who it's for. I'm scared that I'll put a face to it, just to have someone to blame.
If that were to happen, then No. Then we'd help you fight it, before you ever got that far. Wouldn't we, everyone?
Yeah. We wouldn't just sit by and watch you spiral out of control.
That's right. No good can come from being consumed by hatred.
If you ever start to lose your way, you can count on us to guide you back. To remind you where home is.
And I would be happy to lend an attentive ear, should you ever have need.
Thank you, everyone. I think I'll be okay now.
What's up, bro? Getting a little backstory on everything. Maiden's registration revoked and returned to its original household. Wow. This is wild. Sedative. So it was a sedative mask. A device covering a red's whole face that restricts mental activity and developed for the purpose of pacifying prisoners. Medication applications are also recognized, particularly as a means of preventing patients from sustaining mental trauma. However, doing so is not recommended, as prolonged use of the device carries the risk of inducing a number of adverse side effects. Due to the loss of production facilities incurred in the process of destruction of Lenegis, additional factors will no longer be manufactured. However, single person will go through a form of rule, emerging in damaged water when they study information in depth. The study is unique and only evaluates the Lord of Supreme Authority while relegating both commands and damage alike to enslavement. Test subjects serves as realm cultural current and longitude pressure of special powers, drills, and special devices. Rather, it has none by sheer governance, given its method of effectiveness as population control. Monitoring of the situation will continue. Collapse of cognitive facilities and extreme mental repression, rhythm and violence and fear has proven to be the key to this style of rule. Once subject loses autonomy, they become dependent to fear and simply cease to prioritize even their own personal safety. Though such a state is ill-suited for commanding officers, it remains an effective way to cultivate disposable and treat slaves as manual labor. Soldiers in Lenegis who have undergone this treatment will be asked to secure classified sectors as a trial. The results will be monitored. Normally not a big fan of reading, but when it comes to games, I don't mind. For Lenegis, a large-scale astral energy converter that primarily converts the element of composition of Dana's astral energy and transmits it to Rena. Activity and control of the astral energy conversion is achieved by placing the Sovereign Maiden and Rena's armor within the central core of Lenegis. Wait, but we weren't there. It is comprised of classical and essential personal resolves around a large conduit, along with the defensive layer surrounding them. This outer layer is deployed upon activation and unlocking the central conduit with simultaneously functioning stabilizing mechanism. Due to its design, deployment of the outer layer is expected to cause damage to residential zones. However, because they only take place during the final stage of the experience, no contingency plans to address damage is needed. Wow. Until that phase, Lenegis serves as a central base of operation for the management and execution of the Crown Contest on Dana. Any person of level 3 authority is strictly forbidden from the classified zone, and the violation will be immediately executed. Wow. A massive spirit vessel placed on Dana for spiritual subject to several rings. Upon letting it around, it stands two separate conducting pathways. The vertical pathway connects to the center. Meanwhile, the horizontal ascends to a level of the circular sky of Dana. Once activated, it's the biological spirit. Biological spirit vessels placed in each realm. That's why I killed the one that was in the fire. It's accumulated, it's transmitted to Lenegis because construction. Turn it down some bit. Indeed, the function of sent autonomously maintains the personnel are expected to manually interface with it necessary. No other personnel is required for it to function. However, the one was lost in that after exploding due to ramsey exhibited by the Sovereign. However, the landing point will remain the same as the previous model. This was explosion in the previous model, which altered the planet's topography, enabling easy connection to the center of Dana. That's why Dana changed in mainly places like Menencia because of. Ooh. Wow. Bruh, they done fucked me all the way up. Love a good backstory. So, Beaver Logic, since you've been gone, we've come to find out that we were the only two sovereigns made, me and Volron, dude you saw me fight the other day. He's a different version. We are the only two successful experiments. Shion is the mating. the maiden that's supposed to run with me because she kind of offsets whatever I do. So, what everybody thought that this contest was about wasn't even what the contest was about. It was just a ploy to distract everybody from what they were really doing, which was just making experiments to see if they can make it happen and create these somewhat perfect beings, I guess you can say. But Volron possessed traits that, of course, he couldn't be controlled, which his power can almost surpass mine. Oh, vision time!
Naori, I...
Don't talk. I have to do this. I gave you my word that I'd help you return to Dana. The next time you open your eyes, you'll be home.
But you...
My place is here with my people. I still have a duty to fulfill. I'm sorry for what you've endured. Rena never should have dragged you into this. It's not your burden to bear.
But...
The mask contains a sedative. It should keep your mind from tearing itself apart any further. Let yourself go to sleep. This should help with the pain. Time to go, Elfin. Farewell.
But you didn't tell me I was going to be sleeping for 300 years, Miss Lady.
His injuries are worse than I thought. Short-term treatment isn't going to cut it. I'll have to switch the healing pod to long-term hibernation mode.
Injuries?
The chance of surviving hibernation's less than 10%? And worse, long-term use of the mask carries a high risk of damaging his mind and nervous system. But... If I don't head back, Lenegis will be nothing but ashes, and this starship along with it. I don't know if I can fulfill my promise to you, Alphen. But if doing this will grant you even the slightest chance, I have to try.
Hey, a 10% work, girl.
Enough.
We made it back. A different version of you, but we made it back.
Please,
now we get to find out what the hell happened at Lenegis. I'm coming, baby. Well, technically, Shion is a descendant of her. So
vision.
We can say she's maybe dead.
It must have been from when Naori helped Alphen escape Lenegis.
She sure went above and beyond the call of duty.
No, me and her were created to...
Even with Lenegis crumbling down around her, she chose to stay put with her people.
So that's why you lost your memories and sense of pain, and why you were asleep for that whole time. It was all the result of one agonizing decision Naori made to save your life.
Yeah. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't even be alive today. I owe her everything. More than I could ever hope to repay.
Now that you know how she felt, how do you plan on honoring her wishes?
She kept her promise. If the Renan people she fought so desperately to protect are at risk from a malevolent force, then I owe it to her to carry on her fight. Naori was the one who put that mask on me. Made me honor the mask.
Indeed.
She did it to prevent your soul from tearing itself apart. She knew you might lose your memories and sense of pain as a result. But more than anything, she wanted you to survive. And you did.
Interesting. Alright, let's see. Hey, pull my shirt and my pants out. Pull them out. Really? Take note, anytime you see a heavy tree, problems are right behind it. Yeah, I was asking how wrinkled is it. Take a look at it real quick. Shirt too? Yeah. How bad then? Because if they're bad, I'm gonna head downstairs and start, is it still cold outside?
This place. We've seen this in one of Naori's memories.
Of course. After 300 years, this is where it was held. The spirit channeling ceremony. This is where the Renis Alma was.
So this is the place where you and Naori...
The Renis Alma isn't here now. Nor is the Red Woman, it seems.
I know it's difficult, Alphen, but there will be time to dwell on the past later. For now, we need to keep moving. Come on.
Is it supposed to rain today or no?
It was kind of trying to rain this morning, but no, it's not supposed to. Might run into someone in the walk or something.
Naori.
What is this? Is it the work of Dana's will again?
It's been a year since the ceremony. That day, I shut away inside of myself the power that caused Alphen to lose control. Since then, my visions of the future have grown more and more fearsome.
Is this another memory? No, it's different this time. It's like she's speaking directly to us.
What we did back then. Not so much as a day passes when I don't think about it. About what was done to us. All in the name of a ceremony. The purpose of which we were never even told. As Sovereign, they linked Alphen's consciousness to Lenegis itself. The Renis Alma was intended to control his power, lest anything should slip through its cracks. That day, as Maiden, my role was to temper his power. I was meant to guide it forth, and give shape to the strength inside of him.
Linked to Lenegis itself? But then, everything that's been happening...
But that power showed me a vision.
Indeed.
A vision of oblivion. When I realized that vision was a prophecy of the apocalypse we were about to unleash,
brother, you gonna lie?
I couldn't go through with it. But without a maiden, the ceremony was doomed. Alphen lashed out, his consciousness no longer his own. I did what I could. Using my abilities as the maiden, I tried to seal that power away inside of me. But it was too late. Lenegis had already been brought to its knees. Thousands upon thousands of lives so cruelly snuffed out. All because of me. Because of what I had done. With the destructive force now slumbering inside of me, I knew I had to find a way to dispose of it. Anything to make up for my failure. But I didn't know how. Especially since that power was astral energy itself. In which case, ironically enough, the Renis Alma seemed to be my best bet. That, at least, would hold the astral energy dormant. Assuming that no malevolent third party got to it first. With the Sovereign and Maiden's combined power, perhaps I could shift the chaotic energy inside me into the Renis Alma instead. That's what I hoped, but alas, it was not to be. The Renis Alma was lost, and Alphen, the Sovereign, was in a starship bound for Dana. My only choice was to seal away the destructive force inside of me using my powers as the Maiden, to buy the world what little time I could. The time needed for a new Renis Alma to be crafted, and for a new sovereign to appear. Even if by doing so, it meant I would be passing the curse on to my descendants as well. Please, forgive me. I never meant to burden the future world with this threat too. I only wish that there was something more I could have done.
Wait, you can't just...
Well,
Naori.
That message just now, was it directly from Naori? Or was it the Danan voice speaking through her?
What?
These are the clothes that Naori and I wore during the ceremony 3 centuries ago.
So you're saying this is the Maiden's outfit?
That's right. These clothes are designed to resonate with the Sovereign and Maiden's abilities. They focus and enhance them.
And they appeared now because...
Naori must have left them here for the new Sovereign and Maiden, knowing the day would come when they would need them in their fight against the Thorns.
These outfits are directly linked to the answers we've been chasing this whole time. If they're here, it must mean it was Naori's will for us to find those answers as well.
Locating the Renis Alma would allow us to neutralize the dark astral energy inside Xion, thereby silencing her thorns. Is that what Naori's suggesting?
It makes sense. After all, Master Cores and Spirit Vessels are both able to prevent the astral energy inside them from developing sentience. By that logic, it would stand to reason that the Renis Alma would have the same ability on a larger scale.
We have a Maiden and Sovereign. Now all we need is the Renis Alma, and we'll finally be able to free you of your thorns. Xion.
It's possible? You really think so?
I do. We can rid you of your thorns and stop the world from falling to oblivion.
However, the spirit channeling ceremony already failed once. Even if our goal is different this time, we can't be sure the same thing won't happen again. We should take care not to be too optimistic.
You're right. It's the barest sliver of a chance. But if there's even the slightest hope it can work, I'm willing to stake everything I've got on it.
I know it's too early to let myself feel relieved, but... I just can't seem to help it. Just hearing there's the slightest chance, even though I know the world's still in great peril. It's selfish of me, I know, but still...
No, it isn't! You found hope to believe in. It'd be strange if you weren't over the moon about it.
Rinwell's right. We can rid you of your curse and still save the world at the same time.
Thank you. Naori entrusted us with the fate of all humanity. Now, it's up to us to prove that trust was well placed.
Starting with a little game called Hunt the Renis Alma.
Yeah, we've come all this way. Now we just need to search Lenegis and Rena until we find it.
Yeah, we can protect the world and save Xion at the same time.
I too shall lend my services. My knowledge of Renan lore is bound to be a useful asset.
And they say modesty is dead.
Miracles just seem to follow wherever you go, huh?
How do you know it's me they're following? We're all in this together, Shion. You included. Now let's get moving, shall we? Last I heard, we had an apocalypse to stop. Thank you, Naori. So Naori sealed away the power that made me lose control of myself. She stopped my rampage and saved my life. But then, that power she'd sealed away was passed down to you. I'm so sorry, Shion. It's my fault that you're cursed.
You're wrong. What happened to you was because of the ceremony, and Naori's attempt to stop Oblivion. You paid a heavy price for it, and then fell asleep for 300 years. The reason you lost your memories
is the reason for your curse.
The thorns.
It all leads back to them. But once they're gone, we can finally put an end to all this.
When my thorns are gone, I never dared to dream that such a thing could be possible. No. The truth is, I think maybe I've always been dreaming about a life without my thorns. The touch of my family, or playing with my friends, holding hands with Rinwell, or giving Law a deserved smack, embracing everyone. All the normal things that people do together. I always wished I could experience them for myself, and finally know what they were like. Is it really okay for me to believe it can happen? I'm so scared of getting my hopes up. What if it doesn't work out in the end, and...
That's not going to happen. I'm here to make sure it won't. Forget fate or destiny or anything else. We're going to live a normal life. There are a lot of things you still want to do, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's such a strange feeling. I know that we've still got plenty of fighting up ahead. And it's for my sake. So I can live.
You're worth fighting for.
I believe you, Alphen.
Good. I'll keep on fighting. For as long as it takes. Until our future is finally in our hands.
Yeah, that was a lovely speech. Oh, revitalize an advanced healing art that restores all allies' HP. It costs 80 fucking A, dude. Well, I'm going to go ahead and cut that on in there. That is crazy. It costs 80 to cut on the goddamn art. That's 80 skill. I don't know if I want to use it, but 80 goddamn skill points. Oh, more, and then we got some more resistance. Three more here. Beautiful. Penetration plus 40. Alright, we're getting somewhere. One more thing. Whatever that unlocks. How about you, Visara? What do we need next? Ooh, guard vengeance, 2400. Alright. I gotta save up 2400. Alright, we're almost there. Ooh.
Sounds like this Naori chick had quite the big heart.
Her position demanded nothing less. From the sound of things, she didn't focus on differences, least of all those between Renans and Danans.
Yeah. It was Naori who first showed me that such a thing was even possible. And then she saved my life by sending me back home to Dana.
Not only that, but she willingly stayed behind on Lenegis for the sake of her people. It sounds like she was quite the hero, all right. A truly caring person.
It's as if walls meant nothing to her. The ones separating the Renans from the Danans, or herself from others. She had no need for them.
Which basically meant that she never had anything to break down in the first place, huh? Yeah. I think you may be right about that.
You inherited that legacy. Her wish for the world.
Don't I know it?
She's kind of like a lodestar guiding our way, showing us what we can aspire to.
Indeed. Kind of shenanigans on the way. Now gets off. No trace of power. Really behind door number 2. Alright, back to the land of the living. I gotta change her hair thing.
That's quite some door, all right. This might finally be it. The heart of the beast.
We'll find the Renis Alma and the Red Woman inside, right?
After everything we've been through to get here, they damn well better be.
I don't
we'll
have enough
probably
potions
be
for
needing
this.
you to open this one for us, Sovereign.
I don't have
Go
enough
for it,
potions for
Alpha.
this. Kiwi.
Kiwi!
Not ready. I'm not ready, but we're gonna do it anyway, but I'm not ready. Just letting y'all know now. I'm not ready.
This is it, guys. Time to see what secrets are in store.
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Oh God, no. Baby, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. I feel death. Death is about to consume me. Alright. Let's see what they got to say first before we get this started.
We're a long way from the residential quarters now. It looks completely different.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, this place... it reminds me more of being back inside the wedge.
Except the Danon astral energy feels even stronger here.
In a portion of the city reserved purely for the Renin Sovereign.
Maybe he just has strange tastes?
This place looks like it has been here for quite some time now. If its design were a matter of personal preference, we would be talking from centuries ago. Or perhaps even further back. Still, this isn't the sort of decadence of taste spoken of in artistic circles. So what is it then?
Hold up, decadence? Artistic circles?
When a preference is indulged to its extreme, it descends into kitsch, eccentricity for the sake of it. I'd be happy to illuminate you further.
That depends. Does it involve you buying me lunch?
The void that art fills isn't the stomach, it's the soul.
In that case, I'll let you know the next time my soul starts to rumble.
Now all we need is something to fill up the void inside your head.
Shut up!
Volron! He really was still alive.
And there's the Renis Alma. Then, is this another spirit channeling ceremony?
Wait though, something doesn't seem right here.
once more.
It's too easy.
Must be united. Born from the fires of chaos, the world does seek its rightful state. All must be sacrificed in the heart of Rena, at the shrine of the true sovereign.
What has happened to him? He's lost himself, reduced to a mere cog in the machine.
Hey, look! Over there!
Isn't that the Maiden's crest?
Can it be that this entire chamber is meant to act as a substitute for the Maiden?
It looks like it's still running, but... are we already too late to stop the ceremony?
If that's what caused Lenegis' transformation, then the purpose of the ceremony must have been to drain all the astral energy out of Dana.
But for what purpose? What could possibly need astral energy on that sort of scale?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll bet it's connected to those visions of oblivion. Regardless, we cannot stand by and let them steal Dana's energy. That said, we should retrieve the Renis Alma. Because right now, we need that most of all.
He's not gonna lunge at us out of nowhere, right?
Not the time, Law.
Alphen, look!
The Red Woman! So we finally found you. I have a lot of questions for you.
Wait!
What?
They all have the same face? How is that even possible?
Ooh.
What is this?
I like that already.
Who the hell are they?
It can't be. Are they even people?
It's hard to know for sure, but I think they're the true rulers of Rena.
They're not feeling
So, obviously, these are going to be dark matter. Kind of more focused on defense right now. All elemental defense, minus 20%. Don't have any light and water defense. Shit. Yep, I don't have any light and darkness defense. Well. I can't go back. Okay, I can't change it either. Fuck it. Here we go. Alright, come on, Kisara.
You Dalton. If we don't fight, we may as well be sitting ducks here.
Good point. Let's stop them before this gets out of hand.
There, I'm on.
A whole lot of different today. Whole lot of different.
Going in.
But not only that, but I don't have any. I don't have any light and darkness defense. So I'm basically a six built right now. No, I don't have any. And then we put none on. I don't have it. All of these guys are going to require light energy, so let's go to my light arts. I'm going to need, where you at? Piercing War. I think it's the only one I have. That one. And yep, that's it.
I'm on it.
Yep, complete it. Ooh, she on. Good, good.
Easter!
Heal your sister. Alright, so she tripping. Too early to use this, but that's fine.
Armor won't save me.
Can't really tell when they're gonna use certain abilities.
I'll
So.
crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
That lightning is beautiful. So we definitely got to keep him in play. Let's get remember nothing but lightning attacks.
This one's mine. Close one.
The flame inside me yearns to be let free.
You get it,
Right there.
Magna Ray. Annihilation. Magna Ray. This one's glorious. Here's evil.
Fall on. He's still alive.
Illuminate the dark.
We're probably trying to find his body.
Holy land.
Go, she's coming for me. Coming for me. Ooh.
Lightning condemned. Thunder blade. Electric shock. Time to shock. Celestial runner. Magna ray. Talon hurricane. Ice cream. Magna ray. Inferno. Annihilation.
Yeah, bro, that HP is nasty. Oof, that hurt. She coming for me. She coming for me.
Illuminate the dark. Come forth. Holy glitter. Holy land. Illuminate the dark.
Oh. I don't know what hit me, but that took me all the way out. Ooh, she on. We need to heal her. Heal.
Illuminate the dark.
I'm dead.
By the power of flame.
The flame inside me yearns to be let free.
I need some more light abilities. Okay, Shia, why are you not healing? Let's go over here.
Here's evil. Illuminate the dark. Sorry.
Oh, you are gonna pay for that. No further.
Lunar corruption.
Okay, I'm gonna have to put Shia on strictly healing. She's slipping.
Power of flame.
She's too busy trying to use arts. What are you doing, woman? Let's use this one first.
I've let you all down.
I'm dead. Come on. Yep, everybody already asleep. It don't even matter now. I don't have a treat. I don't have a massive elixir. Let's take this L. Try again.
Kill me. Glacial spear. Pierce evil.
I thought I had some more darkness resistance, but I ain't having it.
Glacial
take a long time to kill me.
and ready. I won't give up.
There we go. Alright, so let's try this again. And this time we're gonna take hold of Shion because for some reason she just thought it was a good idea not to heal anybody. So that's what we're gonna be. Go in. Let's change the arts. Let's see if I have anything light. I got that light. We need nothing but light. And healing circle. And I need resurrection. Wait, where is it? Revitalize. Right.
Particularly talkative.
It's no use, Elfin. If we don't fight, we may as well be sitting just here.
Good point. Let's stop them before this gets out of hand.
I'll heal you all.
I got y'all.
Magic healing circle. Thanks so much. Champion swirl. You're lightning. Celestial runner. Denied. Glacial fire. I'm on it.
Everybody focus on this person over here.
Inside me yearns to be let free. I'm on it.
Arctic waterfall. Here I burn. Straight as death.
In a bind.
Dead in the wind.
Armor won't save me. I'm alone now.
More for the top. Talon sword. Lightning orb. Power the burn. Illuminate the dark. Magic is in. Toxicity. This? A chain between heaven and earth. Water. Here I call.
I'll tear you apart.
One more. You're mine. Illuminate the dark. Oh, holy land. It's a chain between heaven and Lightning!
You require a hand.
I'll heal you all! Wind astral energy! Healing circle! Chain between heaven and earth! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Where are you going? Magic is there! Air thrust! Chain between heaven and earth! Blah blah blah! Lightning meteor! Lightning! I'll be saving this one! Lightning!
Denied! Burn!
With this piercing roar! Healing circle! Down! You're off! Lightning! That rainbow! Lightning! Lightning strike! Lightning! Switch! Lightning! Chain between heaven and earth! A wailing dancing lightning! I'll heal you all! Healing!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free! That freaking does it!
I'll heal you all!
Ready to
If it's in the sky, it's mine! I never heaven!
Now you see what I can do!
I'll heal you all! In here!
Nothing gets by me!
I've let you all down.
Oh, missed it.
You have to hold on! Thanks! Just what I need! I'll bring you back from death to bit! Lightning to death! Magic is down! Holy land! A chain between blah blah blah! Storm! Inferno! Not on my watch!
Look sharp! Talon Hurricane!
Lightning! Magic is down!
Not today!
Sleep now! I'll heal you all! Hurricane strike! Healing circle!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Molotov!
Sighted! Hurricane strike! Lightning! Lunar arc! Hurricane! And the lightning! Lightning!
It's on!
Hurricane pieces! Attack! Will this help? Freeze! Hurricane to the wind! Healing circle!
Their arcs were interrupted!
A wailing banshee of lightning! Steel!
you!
A chain between heaven and earth! Lightning! A wailing banshee of lightning! Steel!
Far
It
enough!
was nice while it lasted.
I'm on it!
Will this help?
It's on!
Healing circle! Rain down!
Appreciate the help!
Oh, no, 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 no.
Chain between heaven and earth! A wailing banshee of lightning! Hurricane strike! Lightning! Dance in the wind!
I'll smash you! I'll finish you here and now!
And rain sparkling stars of light! Rain down and purify!
Where are you going?
Lightning! Switch off! Lightning! Inferno! Lightning! In the wind!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Leave the torch to me! Far enough!
Hurricane strike! Lightning! Here's his raging lightning!
Will this help?
I've let you all down.
Healing circle!
This one's all mine!
Piercing roar!
Resuscitation!
Now we're not! Not today!
Gale force!
Hurricane!
Magic is down! Stay here!
Now I'm in the groove!
I'll be saving this one! Here goes! Blah blah blah! Air thrust! A whirling struggle! You get the gist!
Blaze off high
now!
Tiger blade!
I'll be saving this one!
Lightning strike! Ready to go!
Resuscitation!
Burn in hell!
Tempest swirl!
No further!
More where that came from!
Denied!
Where are you going? Light after lightning! Magic is there!
It's on!
Air thrust! Lightning!
Not today!
Lightning strike!
Lightning confiscated!
I won't give up!
Oh, no. They caught me slipping. They caught me slipping.
I've let you all down.
Rain down and purify!
Alright, I gotta give Lost some resistance, because he's dying entirely too much for my liking.
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malisa! Here I go! Help this raging storm! Gets by me! Take this!
Oh no, Rimwell.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Resuscitation! Kizara! Go for it! Prepare to crumble!
2 times. I could take 1 death.
Surrender! Fighting is useless now!
Do you think it's really over?
Astral energy. Watch out! They've got something up their sleeve!
What? It's self-destructed?
Alphen!
I'm okay. Just a little roughed up.
You had me worried there.
Who said you could touch that?
Damn it! He's awake!
I should have thought as much. So you know this place? Naturally, it was built for me, after all. We'll save that for another time. More pressing is how I'm going to tear you apart. Even after all this time, you still insist on hating me? You cut me down. Sovereign or not, you will pay for that.
You're obviously bluffing. You can't even move right now.
Really, is that what you think? Did you really think that such a petty device could hold me?
Are you going to claim it's because you're a ruler? Be it sovereigns or lords. In the end, they're all titles given by someone else.
Plus, what kind of ruler would spend all his time chasing Alf, who happens to be another sovereign?
Idle prattle. I proved my worth and the Sovereign's powers were granted to me.
Were they really? We already know the title of Sovereign doesn't denote royalty. It is but an overblown codename for those with a designated part to play in these proceedings. You mentioned before that you were not the only one stolen from Dana, correct?
Yeah. There were countless. And every one of them besides me died.
All of those failed experiments, and they still kept going back to Dana. There must have been some vital reason their subject had to specifically be a Danan. Then there were the records we found in the library, for you and Volron. They were logged 300 years apart, and yet the data they took from you was exactly the same. Which leads us to a single conclusion.
Then you mean... Boran was kidnapped just like Alphen? But then he became a...
A slave from Dana. Just like us. Isn't that right? Volron.
So he posed as a Renan and caused all that suffering to his own people?
How could you? If you knew the pain of being a slave, why would you inflict that upon others?
Renan and Danon are meaningless distinctions. Me and everyone else. That is all that matters. I will stand above all others and take what is rightfully mine, starting with this.
A red woman.
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me. Let them know I'll make them suffer.
Don't do it!
Serenus Alma!
It's too late. You can't stay here.
We need to go. Alfred!
Nah, man, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. I refuse. It's gonna hurt, baby, but I got you.
Go. But know I will be your shadow no matter where you try to run.
Let's go.
Never forget, I am the one who devours everything. Who answers to neither spirit nor man. My word is law. I am.
Of course not. Even villains never die.
Okay?
Yeah. We'll be fine.
Is Volron... Have we finally seen the last of him?
We can but hope.
We'll see.
Those red women. What the heck was their deal?
It felt like they were trying to help me.
Could they be the ones behind all this? The same ones who put those soldiers in Faria in a trance?
What, those brainless things? Either way, they've done a runner with the Renus Alma. Damn it, that's the second time now!
Whatever's stolen from us, we'll steal it back. The future's ours to protect. And right now, those things are what's standing in our way. We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous form's their true identity, I shudder to think who they take orders from.
Yeah. There's a good chance it's not human. That's for sure.
So this thing over on Rena... That's what's really behind all this, huh?
They have the Renus Alma in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dana. I agree that Rena's our best shot.
Then we're agreed. Let's head back to the starship.
Okay, so.
But seriously, I was not expecting Volron to actually be here.
He seemed to care not one whit about Renans or Danans.
Yeah, not in a good way like with us.
First rule of business.
How?
Everybody needs light and dark damage defense. So I need to go on the grind
I didn't see that
for light
coming
and dark
about
damage
Volron.
resistance.
As for those
that
red
needs
women,
to be held top
to think
priority.
they were monsters all along.
If I want to be able to do this,
Tell me
and
about
not
it.
have to struggle
One
so
minute
bad.
they look perfectly human. Next thing you know, they're not actually human at all.
They definitely weren't Renan or Danon. I'm not even sure language would...
You ever seen anything like that before?
No, never. However, if they're the same as the Red Woman we've seen with Volron, I think it's safe for us to assume they understand our language at the very least.
I had just so much I wanted to ask them. About Rena, and Shion's thorns.
Unfortunately, they blew themselves up before we got the chance. Why would they do such a thing, though? To take us with them? Or in order to keep something hidden?
Both sound plausible to my ears. They took off with the Renis Alma too, remember?
Yeah, they did. And the next time we meet them, we're going to make sure they tell us everything they know.
Hey, stop.
Are you just going to keep standing around or what?
Sorry, I'm just getting prepped over here.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Helix of purity! Where are you going? I'm just getting... Leave the charge to me! Go in! Do it! Fall back! Go, Halim!
All yours, Kisara!
You're open! Going in!
More now!
Shion! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Whirling
now we'll
spear.
In a bind!
Sadistic descent!
Eat this! Now,
Knit it out! Ringwell!
Frozen?
Hammer!
Hey! Poodle's quivering! I think we're about to be real lucky.
I'll do my best!
I'm on it!
Water, hear my call!
I can carve through armor!
Just what the doctor ordered!
Glacial Spear!
Here's the ether! I think I'll pass on the
Take this!
I'll be saving
Glacial Denied!
Oh! Now I'm real mad! Now I'm in the good shot! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
I only hear you all!
Maximum burst!
I owe you one. Switch water.
Here, my
This
heel.
one's mine.
That's
That
freaking does it!
Do it. That'll bring you down.
Shattering the pieces! In a bind?
Steering flag.
One more! Smash you!
I'm gone. I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare the Malisa!
First strike!
Look sharp.
Dragon Shell! Rip and tear!
Shield and hail!
You see what happens there as you cross me? Shouldn't have done
Look
that.
sharp. Huh.
Sleep now.
Talon Hurricane! What's this?
I've taken too many.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on it!
I'm going to need to use all the power of my
I'm ready to go.
Take this!
Take it there!
Smash the Florida! Look sharp. Maximum burn.
Dust to dust! Burn in hell! Eat this! First strike!
Smash the pieces. Glacial fire.
Going in! Armor won't save you!
Take this.
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Shouldn't have messed with me!
Come on.
This one's mine.
You have to hold
Eat
on.
this!
Look sharp.
This one's all mine! Swallow dance!
You get the dead.
Laser I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Ignite! First strike!
Guardian Beam. Ready to go. Elfin.
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone. That was a little close for comfort.
Get lost.
Pieces!
Arctic freeze. These ones can run rings around us.
Now you see what I can
Glacial
do!
spear. Here's evil.
Swallow dance!
Winds of heaven.
Glacial. I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare the Malisa.
Here's a healing arc.
That's too fast! Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Here goes. Do it. Shield.
Go for it.
Prepare to crumble.
I'm going to need to use all the
time.
power of my healing arc to
Burn
oppose.
in hell!
More where that came from.
Talon Hurricane!
This one's mine.
Now I'm in the groove!
One more.
Time to swallow dance! I'll finish you here and now!
Piercing nice try. This one's mine. Far enough. Time to shine.
And ready.
Plenty left.
That'll bring you down.
Smash to pieces.
Radiant
Piercing hail.
Rain down and purify.
The power of light.
Now I'm real mad!
Into the shadows.
Talon Hurricane!
Do it.
Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
Lady Fortune must truly be watching over me.
What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone?
Joe?
You two. Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
She doesn't remember a thing, so she really was being controlled.
He told me about Tarnigan, too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, Lenegis is in grave peril.
So I can see.
It's the city's core reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration's still a way off.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer, and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't?
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed, which is looking doubtful at this stage.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd...
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegis from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease? Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust. That's it. Who's the highest-ranking person in Lenegis right now?
Lenegis wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. And the only one left is... Ah. Very well then. Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lenegis. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Eldamen and Sia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid. As people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegis, not the Lords and Sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among many. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
Your speech seems to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie, built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been...
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only explanation that makes sense.
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority? The very foundations of Renan society? How can we live without someone to guide us?
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
You? You can't be serious.
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader, the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegis, a new dawn is on the verge of breaking. One in which people won't be judged by birthright, or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things. Things like... oh, I don't know. Musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept Turnigan's death. To see a future.
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down the fort here in Lenegis till you get back.
Thank you.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed. Forgive me.
The people of Elda Menancia can look after themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegis who need someone to guide them. Besides, with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menancia's borders that much faster.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world. Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever would I do without you, Kisara?
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes. We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits. Looks like the people of Lenegis can rest easy.
I couldn't have done it without your words of encouragement, Law.
Hey, you're the one who made the speech.
I think everybody can share the credit here.
In one sense, when all is said and done, perhaps I have been a slave this whole time too.
You, a Renan Lord? How do you figure that exactly?
I was complicit in the Renan system, bound by its values, resigned to being swept along, without the resolve to take a stand. And when I realized the severity of my mistake, all I longed for was punishment. A lord. And yet my first instinct was to place my fate in the hands of others.
I think I can relate. I couldn't stand watching my people bow and scrape their way through life, but I didn't know what else I could do about it either. The ability to think for yourself and be your own master, that's what separates a slave from a free person. At least, that's what Law's dad Zephyr used to say. Zephyr taught me how to fight. But in doing so, he also taught me how to live.
Even if it means stumbling along the way. If it's on a road of our own choosing, free of regret. Why, that's the road of freedom. Or, to put it another way, so long as his heart is compromised, even the loftiest of kings is no freer than a slave. I think I finally understand now. This Zephyr character sounds like he was a wise man indeed. I only wish I could have met him.
There's just so much I wish I could ask him, especially now. I wonder, have I been correctly carrying on the torch that he passed to me?
How long have you known?
Known what?
About the darkness I carry inside me. You seem to have been aware of it for quite some time now.
Why ask me now? What does it matter? But yes, I have. I've pretty much known that something was gnawing at you ever since we left Menancia.
So basically since the very start of our journey then. Just when I thought I couldn't feel more ashamed.
Leave the past where it belongs. We have no need for it now. You're forging ahead. That's what matters. If my brother could see you, he'd be proud.
Not as proud as he would be of his sister, I'm sure.
Well then, just as well it's not a competition, huh?
Kisara? Anyone at home in there?
Sorry. Did I look distracted?
Among other things. To be entirely honest, I couldn't tell whether you were smiling or frowning.
You were thinking about Dohalim, weren't you?
That obvious, huh? I was just thinking how good it is to see him moving forward at last. It was always so infuriating, knowing how capable he could be if he just put his mind to it. A prisoner trapped in a cage of his own self-doubt. But now, he's finally beginning to spread his wings. I'm happy for him.
So, then why do you look so sad?
Oh, I don't know if I'd say sad. There's a bittersweetness to it, I guess. It's good and strange, knowing that he won't be needing me anymore. It probably sounds weird, doesn't it? I have this massive worry off my mind. I should be jumping up and down for joy, right?
Must be that maternal instinct of yours at work.
Rinwell's right. You're like a mother bird, finally letting go as her child takes his first shaking and nervous flight from the nest.
A pretty big child.
That's one way to look at it. I wouldn't like to see Dohalim's face if he heard you say that. All this has made me realize I can't allow myself to become a prisoner of my own making like he was. If Dohalim can forge his own path ahead, then I can too. I won't be left behind.
thought we'd find answers on Lenegis, but we just ended up finding more questions.
You can say that again. And now we have more problems to fix, too. Like figuring out how to reform Lenegis.
That can wait for now. We've got more than enough on our plates to deal with as it is. Like figuring out who's really running the show on Rena.
Yeah. Which is why we're going to the Renan homeworld.
All the answers we've been looking for are on that planet. The person responsible for all this. The Red Woman and the Renaissance. The answers have to be there. Are we prepared to finally find them?
So, what do we do first when we get there?
We know nothing about the Renan homeworld or what we might face once we arrive. We should get a feel for how things are on the ground before we take any serious steps.
It's also entirely possible that the first thing we're going to face is an attack.
If we come across a capital, we should... What? Damn! The hell just happened?
Our course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
What's that?
The ship's controls aren't accepting my commands. The engine is being shut down.
That's bad, right?
Quite bad. We've lost control of the ship.
Is all of this the Red Women's doing?
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
Everyone! Look there!
A flower blooming out of Rena?
But that flower looks like it's absorbing all of Dana's energy.
And it appears Lenegis is serving as a conduit for that energy to reach here. Could that have been its true purpose all along?
If that's true, do you think the people back on Lenegis are all right?
We can only pray that they are.
Damn it! Haven't they taken enough already? When is this going to end?
The Flower of Oblivion.
With everything that's happening, we need to get back to Lenegis. Is the ship still offline?
Unfortunately, yes. Even more so than when it lay dormant.
Can you fix it?
Starships are extremely complex machines. One wrong move while we're out here in space could very well cost us our lives.
So what? We're just stuck inside here, floating around? For how long?
I don't believe this. We've made it all this way, and now we're stuck here? We're watching Dana die before our eyes, and we have no choice but to sit here and starve to death?
Law, calm down!
You're not the only one who's worried here.
Right. Sorry.
It's still too early to give up. There has to be a way to get out of this.
Alphen.
Now what?
The starship, it's back online?
No, this is different. Something is pulling our ship in towards it.
We managed to get moving, but where are we?
It looks like Lenegis in here.
Do you think we might run into more Renans here? Or those red women?
Perhaps. Someone brought us here. The question is, who?
We haven't been ambushed, so that probably means they aren't hostile. Still, why would anyone want to bring us here?
So many questions.
Hey, Shion!
So many questions.
If they wanted to attack us, they could have done so while we were back on the starship. We should see where this path takes us.
Shion, just in the nick of time. Here, lend me a hand while I...
No!
What the... Oh, right. The thorns. My bad.
No, I'm the one who should apologize. I overreacted.
Again, Law? Can't you even go a minute without putting your foot in your mouth?
Seriously, it's fine. I'd rather that than people feeling like they're walking on eggshells around me. Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about not touching you guys, not the other way around.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask. Not being able to touch people, does it ever get lonely sometimes?
I guess I never really thought about it in those terms. It was either accept it for what it was, or come undone. Before long, it was just part of my everyday reality. I think I even forgot there was another way to live. Which isn't to say I didn't feel alone. I did. Always.
so numb to your reality you couldn't even recognize it as loneliness? I don't know how you managed.
It's fine. I know I'm not alone anymore.
But I can't even touch you. No way of lending you a shoulder when you're down? Even Alphen.
I appreciate the concern. Until I get rid of these thorns, I guess I'll have to put up with it just a little longer. But not forever. Alphen promised me that. Maybe it'll be soon, maybe it won't be. But either way, the day will come. And I'll be ready when it does.
Yeah, just hang in there. One day, we'll share a big warm hug. You'll see. I promise.
Boo! Ah! What the? Are you out of your mind? This isn't the time for games, Rinwell!
Oh, come on. How am I supposed to resist with you looking all jittery like that?
It's called experiencing feelings appropriate to the situation. You ought to try it sometime.
Yeah, but seeing you act all nervous, you're making me start to feel nervous too.
Oh, sorry.
Staying alert is important, but too much caution can cloud your judgment. Try to strike a balance.
I still can't get over what we saw happening outside the starship.
Yeah, our planet's really not doing too hot right about now.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana, so I figured it was just another round planet like ours. Still though, I never would have imagined Rena actually looked like that. And what's the deal with that giant flower coming out of it?
Beats me. I have absolutely no clue. It's so surreal. It looks like a broken egg or something.
Rena and Dana. We were taught that both worlds were spherical bodies that floated amongst the stars in the heavens. But to think that they lied to us not only about the Sovereign and the Crown contest, but also the form of our own planet.
Dohalim.
Okay, who's the wise guy that summoned us here?
Someone formidable enough to bring our starship along with us.
That beam of light joining Dana and Rena. It was the Renan side that it first came from, right?
That's what it looked like. And then the Danon side responded.
Perhaps it was some kind of directive from the Renan homeworld? To reawaken the Wedge and Lenegis?
Which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all. But what are they after? Is it really worth going through all this trouble just to steal Dana's energy?
Try to stay calm. With so many factors we don't understand, dwelling on it won't get us anywhere. What is it?
No, it's just... Zephyr once told me the same thing. So much for me making progress, huh?
You made it this far, didn't you? You notice something, you change it. That's all anyone can do. But you can't stand still in the meantime.
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Huh? What's that? It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
It doesn't look like it can move. Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk.
What are you?
Hevrect 35.
Hevrect 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that, just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh goody, more riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helganquil. The Red Women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on Date Phasal, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's Great Spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this Great Spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it, without question, throughout the ages.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this Great Spirit be the true Sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this Great Spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegis. If Dana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but
Let's assume that what Hevrect 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's Great Spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegis are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dana.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dana?
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegis was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renasalma.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling's success. However, recreating the Renis Alma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dana.
This is all happening because of me.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrect 35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegis has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall fix your ship.
Others? Just how many of you are there?
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Faisal.
Hey! Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.